Starfield is coming to PS5 after 2 years and is officially coming to PlayStation 5. It was announced today, and it's going to be arriving on April 7th. We're going to have new content, DLCs, and the likes. There's a bunch of new stuff. We got 2 new pieces of DLC. One will be free. That's the, what do they call it? It's called, I just saw it too. Terran Armada, I think, it's the paid one. Terran Armada is the paid DLC, and then the free one is like their new, it's like shipping lanes, I think is what they call it, which is really funny. Oh. It's something interesting like that.
Does it come with long loading screens?
Well, so that's like their attempt to try to fix in a Phantom Liberty cyberpunk style.
Okay. I got you.
Starfield for the new audience, for the PS5 audience. It's dropping in price too. It's coming to $50 instead of the $70 I think it launched at, if I remember correctly, for Series X. So yeah, I mean, this should be. I'm interested in this. So people don't know. I'm a Starfield apologist. I enjoyed this game.
You don't have to be an apologist. You liked it. Who cares?
People didn't. Free Lanes was the name of the other one. Excuse me, which is funny because it's free.
Just enjoy what you want to enjoy. Just game however you want to game.
There's plenty of games out there that people love. They're garbage.
I mean, on the show, we did our top 5. I did my top 5 favorite games that people hate. And
yeah.
One of them was Modern Warfare or Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer.
You like what you like.
Underrated. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this one. People hate this game. I think they're just kind of tired of Bethesda, which is fair. The Bethesda style.
Yeah, you're right, dude. Fair. I'm what else is there?
So,
because I want to talk about my thoughts on Starfield in general.
Yeah. Basically, what they're planning to do is they're adding this Free Lanes DLC is going to add a bunch of like new content updates, so you can now less loading screens. You can fly from planet to planet without it being a loading screen.
You can land on a planet?
Yep. You can do new ship designs, and there's new custom stuff for like your they call them outposts, new outpost stuff, which I didn't really care about, but I know a lot of people do care about that stuff.
Is there a new trailer that comes with this DLC?
Yeah, I'll play the trailer right now, Shref. It is on the screen. It's more of just a release trailer for PS5, but it does kind of touch on some of the newer cool stuff. Again, I was a Starfield apologist. I think there is like I think it, and this is obviously take it with a grain of salt because it's not for everybody. I do think that there is kind of an underlayer in the same way that there was for Cyberpunk, an underlayer of something really cool here that was really hidden by a lot of bugs and kind of poor writing and jank. Yeah. But it's
Free Lanes.
It's something that I like in terms of art style. It's very NASA punk, which is something I'm huge about.
NASA punk.
Yeah,
I like that.
I love the way
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, there you go. NASA punk.
That's awesome.
It's a very cool style that I like a lot.
You mean like NASA as it was in like the 70s?
Yeah, like
the logo, the 70s-ish logo?
Right, like the... I don't know how to describe art styles, but when you see it, you know what I'm talking about.
Government building?
No, I mean like white with like
shiny metal.
Yeah, shiny metal, white stripes.
Yeah,
I guess if that makes sense.
Color stripes. Yeah.
And then like Alien is probably a bad example. That's a different type of punk, but the spaceship in that game has a little bit of a vibe of like NASA punk to it. The clickety clacks of everything.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you mean.
Tactile touch.
Yes, exactly. Tactile buttons and touch.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes. And there's a lot of, that was something that I really enjoyed about this game is the style of it. I love the music in this game. I think it's actually very underrated. Does a very good sci-fi style, what's the word? Soundtrack to it, score to it. I can't remember the name of the guy that did it, but he's
the same
done
guy
a bunch
did
of it.
Skyrim.
I think so, and Fallout 4. So they all
it's the same guys.
You kind of follow the vibe that he's had. He's had it for a while. Okay. And actually, I kind of like the main story of this game. I think the end of the story is actually kind of interesting and has an interesting idea of what happens once you complete games, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this will be a good update. I think there's going to be it's at least going to pull me back because I haven't played it since I played it the first time, and that was when it was really struggling, and even I was like, man, this is a Bethesda game through and through.
Okay. So, when I played it first, I really did not like the 30 FPS cap, which I know they changed.
They changed that,
not that long ago. I mean, it was not that short.
Not that long after it came out.
Long after, I should say. And then I tried it then, but it still had the jank. And also, I was more jaded because I got a Series X, and I just didn't. I was so over the 30 FPS, and then all of a sudden we were playing their new flagship game in 30 FPS. I hated it, and I was jaded. But this would definitely get me back in. I'll try it again.
I mean, that's obviously what they're trying to do, is just try to get people back in, obviously.
Just when you thought you were out, they pull you right
and
back in.
that'll be that. I mean, I think it should be good enough to bring enough people back in, and it's a good update for the people that are on. Shref, you can get off my screen now. I'm done playing the trailer. I think it should be good enough to introduce the people on PS5.
Yeah,
the idea of what Starfield, and it's funny too because it's like, and this is what I don't know why Bethesda loves to do this, but it feels like they're using their main base audience in Xbox as they're testing dummies.
Yeah, it's true. I still think Bethesda is so, at least it used to be historically, so beyond Xbox. A lot of PlayStation. To me, Bethesda is a PC gaming company, and
but not anymore. I mean, they're owned by Xbox.
Now they're owned by the biggest publishing house in all of video games.
Yeah.
So I think PlayStation users will probably like or love or hate it, I guess, kind of like everybody else. I don't know if this is going to change the critical reception at all.
So what's funny is, as we were talking about that, I actually looked it up, and their open critic score when it came out was 85.
Wow.
That's high. But that's higher than I would have thought it was. That's up there with, like, right now, Resident Evil Requiem has an 89.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, so, that's high. Yeah.
It's high for what I thought.
I don't know. I don't think it's a bad game. I just think our expectations are way beyond what they can deliver.
Yeah, I think that is, and I think also part of that, and you can't really blame them from this, part of that is also on Bethesda.
Yeah.
And Todd loves to, there's nobody that loves to jack up what Bethesda is making more than Todd, which, that's kind of his job. So I can't blame him for that.
I just think so. I think that their competition has gotten so much better while Bethesda games haven't gotten that much better. I mean, they've gotten kind of worse when you're comparing it with their contemporaries. So when Skyrim came out, The Witcher 1 was out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Witcher 2 came out eventually. But by the time the new Witcher 3 was already out, Skyrim was way behind.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were looking forward to Fallout 4 being up there with Witcher 3. Nope. And then Cyberpunk came out, and then this science fiction came out, Starfield. And so when you're comparing them both, you're like, well, here's what, CD Projekt Red does so much better. And here's what Bethesda is still stuck on. And that becomes the focus. But I still think the game... I still think Bethesda in general still has it. They have the capabilities. Yeah. I think they really need to lean into their RPG roots, though.
Yeah, it does feel like the more games that have come out, the less, or the more they've gotten away from that style of game.
I mean, CD Projekt Red did that. They really have gotten away from their RPG roots. Although Cyberpunk is still an RPG, sort of, but less of one than Witcher 1 for sure.
Definitely. I mean, Witcher. Just speaking from Witcher 3, it's very much there's a very obvious beginning and end point that you're going to get to regardless of what you do.
Yeah.
So,
and all of CD Projekt Red games are always hard in the beginning, and then you over level. And with Bethesda, it's almost the opposite. You always
there's going to be some grind.
There's some grind to it. Yeah, right. Exactly.
But I do think something that Bethesda does really well, and this goes for like all of their games, is they do a really good job of creating lore that spans the universe of what you're playing, and it's very important to the universe that they kind of tell you in a well done and not exposition-y way, if that makes sense. So like in Fallout 4, in all the Fallout games, you kind of start to understand what happened to the world of Fallout without it really just being straight up like monologued to you. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of environmental storytelling in all of their games.
And that's what I think Bethesda does really well. And they do that pretty well in this game as well. It's a little...
That's what I thought was lacking personally.
It's a little bit more convoluted in this game because it's harder to... I think it's harder to give you the scale of what has happened.
Outer space.
Right. It's harder to kind of explain the scale, even though there are like sci-fi games that do it well.
Also the side characters and their...
forgettable
artistic direction and their voice acting and their animation. It's just subpar, and it's always been that way. It's always been subpar to you and as a first person experience, and then you kind of want more out of your side characters.
Well, and also
in Bethesda games.
For me, the best version of the side characters, like the best version of their conversations or their personalities, come out when you're not paying attention to them.
Yeah,
I'll give you a perfect example.
I know what you're talking about.
Three Dog from Fallout 3.
Dog.
He's on the radio all the time, but that's when he's like at his most personable. And then when you're talking to him, it feels like you're talking to a totally different person.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and whenever you kind of like walk into characters like that in any Bethesda game, if they're having ulterior conversations with other people in the universe, it feels like you're getting more of that character than if you're talking to them.
I don't know. I think there's a weird thing going on with Bethesda games. Like you have the old school way of storytelling where you make a universe and every character has their own little AI weekly programming where they go do things. They go sleep. They take cover in rain. They sell stuff. And then now we as players want more narrative. And so we're asking those same people to write a narrative for the same girl who sells mammoth snouts.
Well, and we're looking at that. We're looking at something like Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
Where it's like, wow, these AI, these characters that you're not talking to, you can talk to whenever, and they're actually out doing something.
They actually have a life.
Right.
Yeah.
And Bethesda's never been close to having anything like
exactly.
that.
So,
but with AI now, we're going to see a lot more of that.
I think we'll see. But it's the thing is, like with Bethesda, you should expect them to sacrifice something else that you like for that, because that's what they end up doing usually.
I just really wish that Microsoft would allow. I don't know if they do. I don't know. I'm speculating, but I'm assuming that Microsoft is telling them what they want when they're giving them millions and millions of dollars. Yeah. If Bethesda Studios had the option to do whatever they want, would they make something completely different? Would they just make a very hardcore Western RPG, almost like Baldur's Gate?
So I thought this was like Starfield was like their brainchild post Fallout 4 when it was coming out. I thought because Todd's been talking about it forever. I remember he was talking about it when they first showed like the first trailer for Fallout, or I guess the release trailer for Fallout 4. I think the first Starfield trailer was there too, which was basically the same thing for Elder Scrolls, where it was just a flash screen and then Starfield. But I think they've been wanting to do, because this is like kind of like the one area they haven't tackled, if that makes sense. They've done post-apocalyptic
science fiction,
yeah, and then they've done fantasy. So I think this like version of sci-fi is something that they haven't touched.
It's really funny because Elder Scrolls kind of almost leans into science fiction with like the actual Elder Scrolls and time traveling and stuff like that.
Well, and like you mentioned Western, like some of the Fallout stuff kind of leans into New Vegas, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested. Again, it comes out April 7th. Some new DLC, free DLC, paid DLC. Also, if you bought it on Xbox, if you bought the upgraded edition, the premium edition, you get all of those for free. So they have the Shattered Space one, which was like their 1.5, I guess, that they came out with.
That's when it came out with the 60 FPS.
Yeah, and that was like, I think that was like April of last year or something like that. Mm-hmm. I never played that because I was like, this isn't enough to get me back here.
I get to the city part, and then I start doing side quests.
Atlantis,
I started wanting to go around and do everything, and then I just get stuck.
Yeah, that's fair. I kind of had the same. When I tried to replay it again, I did the same thing, and then I got stuck, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Like you get stuck, like you get sidetracked?
No, I get stuck. Like I run into a wall where I get sick of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was kind of the same way. You kind of realize what you're playing, and you're like, all right, I'm done. I don't need. I
wasn't sure if it was Bethesda, like you fell through the floor.
Yeah.
I mean that too.
Stuff.
Yeah, that too.
Helps.
That happens. So yeah, I'm excited for this. We'll see. We'll see if the PS5 fans, the PlayStation fans, are going to enjoy this game more than the Xbox fans.
I'll give you a prediction. The ones that are terminally online, they're not going to like it.
Yeah, I mean,
terminally
there's
online.
There's going to be plenty of people that don't like it because that's just the world we live in.
I know.
Whatever.
So many haters out there.
It's the way of the world.
Yeah. Well, check out Marathon.